Welcome to tonight's meeting of the Armada Village Council. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Take roll.
Clark.
Here.
Conan.
Here.
Adair.
Here.
Pelkey.
Here.
Stirrup.
Here.
Barzik. Here. Shaw's absent.
Have the agenda before you.
We need to pull the minutes because I had a human error this week and you guys didn't get them. So we're gonna put them on next meeting, so.
I'll move to approve the agenda as amended.
Support.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Motion's approved. Okay,
You might want
now we're gonna have citizen comments, but if you're here about the budget, later on in the meeting, we're gonna have a public hearing on that. But if you have something else, please feel free to speak.
speak before any agenda, just let them know that we don't have a hearing. During the public hearing,
Yeah.
only though.
Okay, then there's no presentation tonight, administrative reports. Ross, you got something?
Yeah. Okay, just I provided in the packet a request to the village council to consider the location and installation of a state historical marker for the village of Armada. You might recall that we started this effort back in 2019 when we had the sesquicentennial for the village. The village collected on behalf of the Historical Society the amount of money towards the procurement of a historical marker. The Historical Society has chipped in the rest of that amount. Comes out to about $6,500. We have the money. We have submitted to the state Department of Natural Resources with the Historical Commission for the state under the DNR a narrative for the village. I expect that to be approved this week, actually, final language, and then it will go, once we get the approval, we'll go ahead and pay the bill for a marker. So the next big task that would be coming up is to find a suitable location. The state always likes a location that's visible to the public and someplace that's pretty close to where the event occurred. So this is really talking about the founding of the village of Armada and the incorporation of the village of Armada. The village really, the center of the village, the heart of the village, I guess, is really at the Ridge Road and North Avenue intersection, which is Main Street and Fulton Street, right over on the corner here. So there is a potential location to put it. We've got to put several other locations that we could put it, but they're not close to the best site. There is space on the best site. I've gone through the zoning ordinance. There is one issue, because you don't need a permit to put in a historical sign, but there's one issue that we have to deal with respect to the zoning ordinance, and that's distance from the right-of-way. And so we're closer than, if we put the sign at that location, closer than we need to be or should be. And actually the right-of-way stops at the sidewalk, and then the village owns the sidewalk up to the facade of the building. So I've just put this in for consideration. I'll bring it back. It's not an issue on the agenda tonight, would like council to take a look at it. If there's any concerns, please talk to me in advance of when I bring it up so that I can either answer your questions or determine that it's not a suitable location if somebody's got a concern. Anyway, this has been done on behalf of the residents of the village. We do not have a state historical marker in Armada Township or the village. Everybody around us has got one. It'd be nice to have one, and we think it's suitable that the first one be for the village. Packets in there, take a look at it. If you have any questions, like I said, please get with me. We've got a certain amount of time here. This is not a higher priority item. I've submitted the cross-connection report to Eagle. We continue to maintain a high degree of compliance for both the commercial and public entities in the village, as well as the residences that we've checked. If you recall, we only checked the external part of residences. Cross-connection and backflow prevention inspections are done because it's mandated by the state, but we're in good compliance for this year. One other issue that's come up that's not here, just found out about it. It's been quite problematic to get this water line into the replacement for the line that goes into the wastewater treatment plant. That line has busted about 5 times in the last 10 years. It's not a stable line, it needs to change, and it would be a significant emotional event if that line breaks and we don't have water to the wastewater treatment plant. I think everybody would appreciate that. Last year we had to deal with easement issues. We didn't have an easement approved by the county for access, that service drive to the wastewater treatment plant, nor for digging along the trail right-of-way, which extends 25 feet on either side of the trail. So we've got that approved, but there's new regulations always, and one of the things we've run into is we have to determine if an environmental study is required or not. Still haven't determined it, but you know, that water line connects to the main right down in an industrial area. So we've got a couple of the businesses down there that are listed at the state as potential high contamination areas, and so we're in the process of looking at that. I don't think it'll hold us up for this year, but it may delay going out for bids and for a couple months while we go through the process of that. I think that's all I got.
Okay, thank you, Ross. Did you have something, Mike?
I did, I put some in your packet. The wastewater treatment plant is experiencing higher than normal arsenic levels that are requiring additional requirements from F&B. If we hit the next level, the cost to dispose will increase substantially, and it's not within the scope of the F&B contract. Our past experience has shown the settling tank was responsible. This was probably about 10, 12 years ago, maybe 15, I forget. Water Commissioner Belfi requested a meeting with the related parties and the village engineer to look into it. So we're trying to figure it out, okay? Eagle engineer Mutashi Sahi did an annual site visit on March 12th. Steve Clark attended in my absence. She had a couple lab questions, discussion on the old tanks, and F&B obtaining samples in those old tanks. And we need to get a better containment unit for the ferric chloride drums. They want something a little bit souped up, more than what we have. And Kath also did mention that the motor bearings in the Pistogrit system need replacement along with the vacuum pumps, and F&B is working on that. Normal wear and tear on old machines. That's
Good.
all.
Thank you, Mike. Are there any other, okay. Then moving on. We have our consent agenda.
We're gonna do this as amended as well, because we're
Yeah,
gonna take
I
the
can-
minutes.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda as amended.
Support that.
Okay, that amendment was the removal of the minutes.
Okay,
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
motion's approved. Now, No old business, new business. Set the new millage rates. And you're on.
We are leaving the millage rates the same as they have been in the past. This is, we can't set them firmly until we know what the headly rollback will be, and we won't have that until June. But we're anticipating that everything will remain the same as last year. So the only increase will be the taxable value of your homes has increased. I believe the assessor's going with 2.7% this year. So because your taxable value increases, your tax will go up a little bit, but the millage rate is staying the same.
Okay, we have a motion here.
I make a motion to accept the recommendation by Treasurer Porter to propose the 2025 tax millage rate at the maximum allowable levy as permanently reduced by MCL 211.34D and authorized under the Truth in Taxation statute MCL .21124E. The full understanding that these requested tax levy rates will be reduced if necessary to comply with the state constitutional Article 9, Section 31. Man, you make this tough.
Sorry.
MXL sections 211.24E and 211.34. The following rates shall be proposed. General Fund, 8.4791 mils. The Municipal Streets Fund, 3.3913 mils. And Public Act 33 at 1.75 mils. Total proposed millage rate, 13.6204 mils.
I'll support that.
Okay, Clark. So we need a roll call.
Belkey,
Yeah.
Clark,
Yes.
Stirrit,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes.
Adair. Yes. Garza.
Yes.
Okay. Capital charges for the water and sewer commissioners. Ross, Mike?
All right, Michelle, you just want me to, because I had a motion, but you said that was not,
No, the motion is to accept the resolution.
just, okay.
Because they were together.
The last meeting, I did go over my proposed water commodity charge increase by 2.1%, doing that really to maintain pace with the cost of inflation. Just for comparison, Romeo, which is on Great Lakes Water, everybody likes to compare the village with Romeo, which has got 4 times the people. Anyway, Romeo's rate for water is going up 5.5%. So that's significantly higher than 2.1%. In any case, we need that just to operate, maintain, and make the improvements that are required. So improvements that we're trying to make, we just talked about one a couple of minutes ago, which is the water line that keeps breaking to the wastewater treatment plant. Do not want that to happen, trust me. We're trying to do this next summer, this coming summer, start to replace the small number of lead service lines that we have, and then the 2 years after that, replace the galvanized lines that we have in the village. We've also got another project that's on tap. A good way to see what the projects would likely be in the next few years is to look at the water reliability study that we did about 2 years ago. It racks and stacks over the next 5 years what we really ought to focus on in terms of improvements to the water system in the village, and then it's got a 20-year list. These are things that we really do need to do. You're not going to see lead service line in there, but that is again a federal and state mandate that we simply don't have an option. We have to do it, and it's at the village's cost. So to be able to do all of this stuff, keep the water system, my perspective, as good as it is, it's a great water system that we have. It's your water system. I have to make it. Well, you can laugh all you want to. I wait for people to contact me to sit down and talk to them about it. I put it out on Facebook every once in a while when I get irritated by some of the comments. Nobody ever calls me and says, come in and talk to them. I would be happy to do that. If you've got concerns about the cost of water or what I'm doing, or are concerned about how I manage the system, please come and talk to me. I don't bite, and and we can politely disagree maybe, but this stuff is not free today. If you want free, you take a bucket and you go down to the creek and you get some water. If you want water piped to your door that's clear and potable, then it costs you money.
Thank you,
Okay,
Ross.
in any case,
Mike, did you have anything to
no,
add?
I gotta, do I need to make an individual?
No,
No,
Oh,
No.
all
I
right.
just wanted to add one little thing on mine.
yeah,
I had Michelle or Ann, somebody checked it, the debt service is not changing. So that remains the same. It's just the commodity charge. Just wanted to be clear on that. That's a big portion of the bill, a good portion of the bill, and that's consistent with what is required for the payment. Just wanted everyone to know
and
that.
2.1 is the cost of living increase
Yes.
across the board.
So we have a motion here?
I'd make a motion to adopt the attached resolutions approving the new water and sewer rates.
I think I should support it. being
Yep,
commissioner.
go ahead. Take a roll call, please.
Belkey,
Yes.
Sturrit,
Yes.
there you go. Barzik? Yes. Clark?
Yes?
Conan?
Yes?
Adair? Yes.
Okay. Motion's approved. Moving on to wage allocations for the treasurer and the clerk. So,
Well, we gotta set these every year, so.
yeah, we set these every year.
Yeah.
This is both the clerk and the treasurer spent a lot of time. This would be their new wages, which for the treasurer would be $30,312, and for the clerk would be $36,841.
Those only increased, or those increased as well.
The 2.1
Do we
COLA.
know what the percentage was?
2.1.
2.1. Okay, so, again, I think they're justified, and could I have a motion?
I'd make a motion to establish compensation for the treasurer of the village of Armada in the amount of $30,312 annually, effective April 1st, 2026.
Support?
Okay, you want to take a roll call?
Belkey,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes?
Sturrit,
Yes.
Barzik? Yes. Adair? Yes. And Conan.
Yes. Okay. I need another motion for the clerk.
Resolved to establish a compensation for the clerk of the village of Armada in the amount of $36,841 annually, effective April 1st, 2026.
Support. Support by Adair. You want to call the roll?
Clark,
Yes?
Adair? Yes. Conan,
Yes.
Barzik? Yes. Sturrit,
Yes.
Belkey?
Yes.
Okay, the next item is the O'Reilly Rensselaer, who are our lawyers. Pay rate increase.
So I was contacted by our attorney there, Don Denault. They have not put in for an increase in at least 15 years, 10 years. I don't think they have the entire time I've been here. I mean, that's been 20. So what he did was he took what they're making in 2015 and what that would equate to in 2026. It's an increase of $35 an hour, so it goes up from 95 to 130. And we use O'Reilly for all the police stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion. Resolve to approve the rate increase to $130 per hour for O'Reilly Recevio PC effective April 1st, 2026.
Support.
Yeah, that's what it would come out to, he rounded down.
You have a question, Joe?
No, I got it.
Okay.
Okay, so Clark? Belkey?
Yes.
Stirrit?
Yes.
Adair?
Yes.
Conan?
Yes.
Barzick?
Yes.
Okay. Item E, building inspector retainer.
You're on it, but I don't
Yeah.
think you even know about it, do you?
I didn't know we were gonna do it.
Yeah, go ahead, let Ann.
Yeah.
The building inspector is paid
Yeah, it's on
for
vacation.
inspection, but he often gets phone calls and inquiries from residents and people asking questions about things they can do or they're thinking about doing, which does not lead to him being compensated in any way. So we're proposing to pay him $100 a month to handle those type of inquiries as a retainer for that.
Incidentally, our building inspector resigned. We now have
An interim.
our interim inspector, Dennis Lemieux, on board. And
Until we find a new one, which he would be happy I said that for him.
our old inspector did not want to handle these kind of calls. It's really important for our people that if they got questions from the building inspector so that he can help them, and that's why we're doing this.
I would make a motion then to approve a retainer for the building inspector of $100 per month.
Support.
Take a roll.
Belkey?
Yes.
Clark?
Yeah.
Adair? You want me to come back to you?
Yeah.
All right. Stirrit?
Yes.
Barzick?
Yes.
Conan?
Yes.
Adair?
Yes.
Okay. Motion's approved. Now, next I think is what a lot of you might be concerned about, our annual budget. And so we're gonna go into a public hearing. So can we have a motion to go into public hearing?
I'll make a motion to enter into the budget public hearing at 7:23. Sorry, that didn't sound right.
Support.
Hold on.
Stirrit?
Yes.
Clark?
Yes.
Belkey?
Yes.
Adair? Conan?
Yes.
Barzick? Yes. Now it's open.
So, we have the motion that we have the budget before us. We've been working on it since January 1st. And certainly if there's some questions on the budget, if somebody would like to, you know, we'd be glad to try to answer them.
Can I just point out too that the budget is, we've met before every council meeting since January and gone through each budget line by line. And all the things that you voted on tonight have been added. The budget's been tweaked to accommodate that stuff as well. No other major changes have been made, but at the end of each account, your actual numbers are there now showing a more realistic view of what is left at the end of this year and what you can expect to have left at the end of next year. I was very conservative on interest on our savings accounts, and I just wanted to tell you too that we did hear from the bank today and got 0.25% more than I had asked for, so I was pretty happy about that. So, not sure how long that'll last, but again, it's better than it was. So, everything is pretty much as we have discussed at all the prior budget meetings. So if anybody had any questions, I'm happy to answer.
You know, we try to figure out for each department, what the needs are gonna be, and anticipate them. So anyhow, would somebody like to ask a question?
Mr. Conan, for the trash and everything, I wasn't told about, when it switched, is that included now in our taxes or anything, or how does that work?
I'm sorry, and you are?
Ashley Simmons?
Ms. Simmons, the new trash thing, you have to set up with priority, and you'll be paid priority.
Okay, yeah, 'cause I've tried calling them the last week and a half, and no one's answering, they're not calling me back, nothing, so,
Can you leave me your number,
yeah.
and I'll get a hold of them, and I'll get a hold of you.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what
Okay.
you're talking about, because they keep switching you to departments, because I had to
There's
set
a
my
more
own.
direct number that I believe is on that
Okay.
sheet out there.
Yeah, 'cause I tried calling 4 different ones, and I
Okay,
wasn't
leave me
able to get
your
through.
number, I'll call them.
Okay.
And the new trash service has nothing to do, it's not included in your taxes. There is a clause in their contract that if you become delinquent in your payments to them, if you're delinquent when it's time for me to start collecting taxes, they want me to include that on your tax bill. So, that's the only way that your taxes would be affected, is if that got added to your tax bill.
So one more question,
Yeah.
just regarding the trash really quick. How was that decided, like, that we didn't get to choose our own companies anymore? Like, I had Waste Management, they were doing just fine, I was happy with what I was paying, and then all of a sudden, my trash cans got taken away, there was no letters to us saying that this was gonna happen. I guess there was posts on Facebook, but I didn't see, so I
Well, there's
just,
been, you know, there's something that Supervisor Crotchy came up with, and we really thought it was a good idea to try to just have one hauler in the community, both township and village, instead of having multiple.
Because
He went out, he went out, and then also we worked with him.
Waste Management did bid on it as well, but they were higher.
Yeah,
So-
Michelle was our representative. They had a bidding process, we had a public hearing on it, and this is what they selected to do. However, you still can fit, if you got a contract with Waste Management or somebody else, you can still finish that contract.
You were supposed to be able to, I think,
Yeah,
Waste
they said they
Management
didn't.
just picked up they changed it.
right,
They were supposed to honor the contracts.
right.
They haven't picked my trash can up yet.
They didn't pick
I
mine
called
up
them,
either.
I called them today, and they said they were picking up Monday, so I gotta put it out there Monday.
But leave me your information,
I will.
and we'll get a hold of somebody, and I'll get you in touch with somebody.
Okay.
But we do need to get back on the budget. Are there any questions concerning the village budget? Yes, please identify yourself.
My name is Rihanna McGlone. I'm on 22962 Prospect. I have two things. First, I want to piggyback on what she said. I think that the one trash hauler is fine, but I think that it was handled poorly. If you didn't have Facebook and you didn't have Waste Management, I got a letter in the mail, but if you didn't have either of those, you didn't know what was happening. So I feel like it was just kind of handled poorly by, the village, not sending out a letter saying, this is what we are going to do. Enough
We
said.
really can't settle anything on,
You can't send a letter out to say this is what the flyer would have been fine to send out, because
Yeah.
that had all the information on it. That's all I'm saying.
but the public hearing is on the budget, I'm sorry.
Right, so let me get to that. Let
Yes,
me ask
go
you
right
about
ahead.
our roads.
Pardon?
What is the budget for our streets and roads and fixing our roads? What part of the budget and how much is that?
In this current budget,
Yeah,
we have no plan unless we receive a grant to do any more roads next year.
so the roads that they repaved last year that weren't really repaved, it's very thin,
Right.
starting to deteriorate already. There's no plan for that going forward?
There is, in our CIP, which covers a 5-year period, there is a plan for that, but the street funds had to borrow money from the general fund to do what they did.
Okay.
And so that money has to be paid back to the general fund.
So if the roads deteriorate from what they did last year, because I can already see the rocks through where they did in front of my house, it's already starting to just fall apart. That's gonna cost double then to redo all of that, correct?
Well,
I
what
don't
we
know that.
did, and we took a gamble, and we knew we took a gamble on a different process. We were told it would work, that it'd be good. It wouldn't be good for 10 or 15 years probably. To do the streets the way they should be would be millions of dollars. And we just couldn't do that. So we took this less cost approach to see how it would work. Cost us about $400,000.
Okay.
We could barely do one street for that.
We couldn't.
So I mean, we took a chance on that, and, you know, it may work out and it may not. But, to do the roads like we did First Street and Simmons when we did them,
Simons?
Right.
Simons, we could not do that. We had grants for both those. We've also are trying to get some grants through, for Lisa McLean, our federal representative, and Amy's been working on that very hard. But we don't know if we'll get it. The government considers us a very wealthy community. I know none of us do, but I'm not saying we are.
So the 2.1% on the water is not gonna go toward any improvement toward the roads or anything else, it's just
It's not.
to maintain what we already have,
Well,
which is,
first of all, 2.1%, you know, if we have much underground in that, it may not necessarily cover that. We've had to take out the general fund to cover like the the treatment plant, and what's now it'll pay it back. But yeah, that 2.1% isn't gonna do all the underground work that needs to be done and everything.
okay, well, to that point, you had mentioned that a lot of the upgrades that have to be done are state and federal mandated. So there should be a state or federal fund for that.
You would
Yeah,
think.
you would think,
so.
but
You would
it
think.
don't work that way.
It's not.
Lead service line replacements, for example, which is really required across the country, is the cost is borne by the community. There's no real money unless you apply for grants for that. There are grants out there and we can apply, but as the council president said, we're considered a higher than median average income community. So most cases, grants for us is a real crapshoot. Sometimes we get lucky, but most of the time, a disadvantaged or severely disadvantaged community would get the money before we would. So
We've
we
tried
can apply.
everything we could. Ross has got extra money for us before. You know, we've got road money before. That's how we did, we got like 80% when we did Fulton Street. But even when you do these major projects, we gotta put some matching funds in. So,
Thank you.
And part of the
Yeah.
reason too that we did not put any money to redo any of the streets this coming year is, as Dave said, it was a experimental type process that we had never used here before. So we wanted to see how the roads held up through the winter and over the next couple of years before we did any more.
You know, to see if we wanted to do that same process
Right.
again.
I would say probably not a good idea, just my opinion.
Doesn't the company warranty that work? I mean, when they come out and fix what they've already made
We had
mess
hope.
up?
And they have.
1 year, that's why it's 1 year.
But they're not gonna, it's not gonna be the same type of thing as like when we did Maine and Fulton or First or Simons. Are there any other questions?
So they should probably come out and,
They're gonna, whatever's going on right now, they're gonna come out and,
okay.
yeah.
Are there any other questions on the budget?
Good evening, everybody. Tom Primo on Church Street. It's like a two-parter, two different subjects. The first one is, it sounds like you guys already adopted the resolution, but I was speaking on the 2.1% thing where I know it's a number that everybody just floats out there and it's based on speculation what inflation's gonna be. I feel like the budget
It's
should be
based on what was. That was.
prior year.
No,
Yeah.
there's a inflation index that our auditor provides us about, in January, I think it was, and it's based upon Detroit, Warren, and Dearborn pricing, so that's what we used. I don't wanna pull it out of my butt. I wanna use something that I can pin whatever I'm gonna ask you guys to pay to, and so that's the indices that we use. And actually, it's probably low. We've got contractors that are gonna charge us more, and I've just gotta eat that in my budget. I'm not gonna go above the 2.1%, but at least I can look you guys in the eye and say, I'm not making it up. I'm using something that our auditor has indicated that is what this general regional area is experiencing.
Okay, so my opinion, and I'm sure you've been beat to death about this stuff, but if you have an opportunity to save the residents a little bit of money, and it's a throw-out number, it's not solid, I would say come up with a budget and try to stick to it. I know there's gonna be extras, but you guys have an opportunity to save the residents 2.1% right now on both water and sewer. Well, I know, I didn't realize that how it worked. I thought we were gonna be able to speak first, but it doesn't sound like a lot of money, but I have a family of 3 or 4 and $600 and $800 a quarter. That's a lot of money, and it adds up.
Well,
So-
first of all,
It's more than anywhere.
Right.
I don't know.
I want to assure you
More than that.
that we're always trying to save money for the community. And, I mean, we have saved a lot of money, but, you know, you don't see it.
Right, I understand. I know we could go into all the opportunity. I'm sure you guys have done a ton, and we appreciate it.
You know,
It's just my opinion, in this situation, our water bills are already a
For the
ton, we're
last 5
desperate,
years.
so.
but for the last year,
Yeah,
we
your
had
water's
the
bad, so
SDI.
you're paying for bad water.
Right, the only other thing I had, and you guys, I'll sit down and let you guys answer this, but as far as the attorneys go, did anybody do any research on competitive pricing for the attorney before you just
Right.
decided to add $30 an hour to it, $35 an hour? And I'll take that sitting down.
I did in my term, and I couldn't find anybody that was a good, reliable corporation attorney that was cheaper than them.
All right, I just want to make sure some research was done before we're just like, okay, let's just pay him. If there's any other, competitive quoting going on or anything, so. That's it.
Are there any
I
other-
appreciate it.
Are there any other questions concerning the budget? Yes.
Ben
Would you
DeLeckie.
identify yourself? We may not know who you are.
Well, that's true. Ben DeLeckie, 22846 West Main. Okay, so it was said earlier in the meeting about arsenic treatment plant, water coming out with a high arsenic level. Where's that arsenic coming from?
It's out of the groundwater that we have 3 wells, and it's mineral water.
Okay,
that's-
wait, so we understand that. So there's an arsenic treatment plant that takes the arsenic out of the water for our drinking water.
Yeah.
So it's the reject water out of the arsenic treatment plant that's going up there?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the
So that
water
means-
that gets flushed out on a regular basis
Okay,
to keep the
Okay.
filtration media clean of arsenic.
okay. So then that arsenic treatment plant also gives you a higher level of chlorine in our water. Our water has a high, and that's because of the arsenic treatment plant in that process is higher level. So what's the long-range plan of the water department? Other than just, so,
I'm not sure what we
Okay.
operate, we maintain, we improve.
understood,
Right?
understood.
There's a certain cost
Okay, so
to-
we all know, according to this gentleman, his quarterly bill was $850.
That's the high end, but yeah, an average
Okay,
is.
so, and I can attest to high water bills. But what, in the long-range plan, what are you gonna do? So you got Dave Wagner retiring, you got a arsenic treatment plant, which was presented to you as a fix-all, but it's not really a fix-all, because you had to replace the media at a much higher cost than what was quoted when you put in the plant.
That's
They said
inflation.
$25,000, and I said at that time, that was delusional, and what did it cost you? $750,000?
About $750,000.
And it cost you $1 million to
Which
build a
we
plant.
got
So
several
again,
grants for.
what's the long-range plan? So you're no longer gonna have a DPW guy managing your water system like you did with Zaratowski, so you had to have another firm come in, so you got somebody on top of Dave, and then now you're gonna lose Dave, so you have less control and you're gonna kind of keep on subbing stuff out.
No, the plan is to hire a DPW supervisor with the proper licensing, with the proper experience.
Dave's not retired
And,
yet.
yeah, and to knock a lot of that off of F&B.
But we'll still have to use F&B or somebody like that.
Okay, so then, now
No.
going
More
again,
minimal, though.
Stop.
okay, go ahead.
Stop. The issue was back when we did a previous water reliability study. We do these every 5 years. So back in 2019, water reliability study was done, and the state said, you do not have sufficient people here to manage your water system and sewer system and do all the other tasks that are expected by the DPW. So at that time, Ed was retiring, and we looked at that and determined that probably would behoove us to get somebody to manage the water system operation in the water treatment plant, not fixing pipe and stuff, but managing that operation, which we did, and it gave a break to the DPW, so we didn't hire additional DPW workers. So that's kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Trying to figure out a way to manage the cost of DPW and not increase the cost of the DPW, manage the cost of the water system and not increase the cost of the DPW by hiring a new person. I'm not being very articulate here, I can't think of the word. In any case, so we hired F&B to put 20 hours a week into the management of the water system. That's what we pay for now on the water side. The DPW, the way I put it, might be a good way to understand it, is F&B does the white collar work. So they operate the wastewater, the water treatment plant, they manage the well houses, they chlorinate the system, that's where your chlorine's coming from.
And that's what Ed used to do.
We don't put any extra chlorine in to do anything else other than as a decontaminant for the piping, like 98% of the communities across the country do. And they write up the reports to Eagle that are mandated. The DPW does all of the system maintenance, they dig the holes, fix the pipes, all that kind of stuff. So that's what we did back in 2019 to satisfy Eagle that we didn't have sufficient people here to manage the water system. So
then you have two projects, so the St. Joseph project out behind the nursing home, and you have the possible Fritz project, which hopefully doesn't see the light of day. But what are you going to do for water and sewer? So your capacity is not enough to handle.
the water reliability study that we did 2 years ago says we're at 48% capacity, usable capacity, which means we have 52% remaining capacity on that water system. I can't speak for the sewer system. So that's the water system. So we have capacity.
And isn't there only 2 wells that operate, 6 and 7?
3 wells.
You have 3?
Yeah.
So Michael, what's the deal with the sewage treatment plant? Can you handle increased volume?
We haven't done any study to tell what we can or cannot.
Okay.
We can handle some, but it depends on how large of a development or large of request is made. But to do a study would cost money, and until an applicant comes, we don't want to
Understood.
spend money
Sure.
until we have to. So we have the ability to add within reason. But
So
until
it's-
I pay for a study, I'm not just gonna go spend money.
That's a prudent thing to do. But as far as addressing the water quality in Armada water, Armada water quality is not good. So concert,
But
contrary to what
talking
you
about
said.
the budget,
Okay,
not talking
I'm
about
done.
the quality,
Well, thank you.
everybody will
Well,
determine
talk to
that,
me about it.
have their own opinions on that.
I can show you filters to document my stuff.
Now, are there any other questions on the budget, please?
Does this mean our taxes are gonna go up for this budget, and by how much?
No,
Surely
what?
not.
I
You're-
explained how your
Yeah,
taxes go up.
That's what Ann
They only
is.
increase when your taxable value goes up. Our
That's
millage
set by the
rate is the
assessor.
same. And the assessor has raised your taxable value 2.7%.
Again, everything's going up right now, but we haven't raised the millage rate, but if the valuation of your house goes up, that will affect your taxes.
Yes, don't build anything, don't put a shutter in.
Are there any other questions on the budget? No questions, can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to exit the budget public hearing at 7:45.
Support.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Motion's approved. Okay, the public hearing was our last item under new business. Do we have any upcoming agenda items?
The next meeting that we have will be held at the Township Hall because the Fritz Development will be on that agenda. So anybody that's interested in coming to that, we want to make sure we have the room. So we're going to hold it at the Township Hall.
We didn't just approve the budget.
No, the village,
Oh, yeah, what are you doing, ding dong?
yeah, good boy.
Thank you, Ross.
Thanks, Ross.
Somebody had to be
Okay,
the bad guy.
can we have a motion for the budget, please?
We make a motion to adopt the fiscal year 2026, 2027 budgets for the following funds as presented. And so I'll read the fund and the projected balance at the end of this current fiscal year. So this is just what money remains in the accounts now. It's
No,
not really talking about.
it's what you anticipate will be left at the end of the
Well,
budget.
right, it's a projected balance at the end of this fiscal year.
Well, this is the same
The end
number.
of the
just-
26.
That doesn't match my,
Yeah, it was something's probably.
And the fiscal year, and the budget you're approving, which is the 26-27.
I understand that. All right, well, that's not what mine says, but. All right, general fund, $1,976,741.15. Municipal street fund, $132,674.72. Major street fund, $381,416.58. Local street fund, $209,098. Water fund, $151,038.80. I'll get it straight. Sewer fund, $363,453.06. Salvage vehicle inspections, $106,945.10.
I'll support that.
Belkey,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Garza,
Yes.
Adair,
Yes.
Sluds. Oh, I'm sorry, Sluds. Good Lord, Sturrit. Wow, I went way back on that one, sorry. Sturrit. Sluds. And Conan.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now,
Thanks, Ross.
I got ahead of myself there. That covers our public hearing and
Yes.
the budget for 26-27. Incidentally, our budget year goes from April 1st to March 31st or March 30th. Okay, upcoming agenda items, and this is where Michelle was mentioning that we're anticipating a bigger crowd. We're gonna have our next meeting at the Township Hall. So we've already got an agreement from Supervisor Prachi on that.
Is that
And
date
will
April
be-
13th?
Pardon?
Is that date?
April 13th.
And we'll be getting a recommendation from the Planning Commission on the Fritz subdivision. I think you guys already, most of you know about that. And we'll be voting on their recommendation. So are there any other upcoming agenda items?
At some point, I'll bring back this marker, historical marker issue the council. Again, if you've got concerns or something, please contact me, so I can address it.
Okay. Again, we have another time for citizen comments. Would any citizen like to make a comment?
I have a stupid question.
No stupid questions.
When you were going over what is gonna be left on the fiscal year, what is a salvage vehicle inspection part of that?
It's a program that our police officers, they inspect vehicles that, I don't know, they've been in accidents or whatever, and they have to have an inspection before they can have their title.
They retitle them.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's basically, it's an inspection retitle after a determined loss.
Yeah, somebody bought it.
Okay,
yeah.
I deal with that on a daily, so I was just wondering where that came into play.
Yeah.
We have certain officers that are certified to be inspectors,
Okay.
and they do that on their own time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the village makes 52% of what they make,
But-
what they charge.
Anyhow, this money helps when our police department buys
new
our
car.
cars.
Okay.
It's been,
Salaries.
it's been extremely good for the community.
Okay.
We haven't paid for a car in 5 years, I don't
Right.
think. Okay, any other citizen comments? Yes?
Do I need to introduce myself again?
Yes.
Absolutely.
We know you.
Ben Delecki. So what's the DDA stand? So the money for the DDA paying back the loan to the village, where's that stand?
They're still paying back.
Understood, but if I kind of remember, it was supposed to, the loan was supposed to be paid off in '28, and then after that, the DDA was going to own the village. Is that still
Yes.
kind of the
That's
thing?
correct.
So, and then that's going to go on till like mid-30s?
Until they
Okay.
pay back.
So the DDA really is still a non-entity until the next decade? Yeah.
And
Okay.
I'm sorry, sir, what is your name?
Oh, Ryan McGlone, 22962 Prospect Avenue.
Okay, thank you.
I just have a question. Angela Hemby, 23743 Colonial Road. I know that it's been said that we're at 48% capacity of our well, but do we know what the viability of those wells are? And if something happens to those wells, like they dry up, do we know in the future what our options are then? I mean, are we projecting out that far?
We have looked at well capacity in the village a couple years ago. There's a report on file about it. I would personally like to start looking for another well, just to be safe. I have no indication that these wells are at any risk at this point in time, although stuff happens.
Right.
So I appreciate what you're saying.
Because I think where my concern comes in is from the data center in Washington. I mean, the sucking of the water that does.
That's not a same aquifer.
But how do we know it's not going to affect us? And I was told from someone else that we don't know. So I think that maybe it would be prudent to just look at what our options are if these two wells.
Yeah.
That probably would
Too
not
much
be
to
a
go
well.
into at the moment, but we do have a study that's available. It's public knowledge. You can come in, take a look at it, and it indicates potentially what we should do in the future considering wells.
Okay.
We've got one very good performer, and the other two wells are, they're not bad performing wells. We would like them to perform better. There's different options that we have to potentially exploit those a little bit more. It's something we do need to consider in the future.
Yeah, because with the church coming in and, you know, it just, I think with everybody's water bills, I mean, for me, it's a huge concern. I'm a court reporter, my rates have not gone up in 34 years. I have to work harder and more to pay my bills. I don't get increases.
Might
So
want to talk to the judges, they're doing pretty good.
You know, I'm a freelance court reporter, 34
I'm
years.
sorry,
so.
what is your name?
Angela Hemby, Hemby.
Thank you.
Do we know how much the church is gonna consume in water? Did you do that? Do you know that with water and sewer?
I think
If we're at
that's,
48%, how much more will the church take?
Again, the system is rated at 48% capacity.
Right.
So the system, it doesn't mean we wouldn't have individual issues here or there, but I believe the church is going through a phase 1 study now. That's what's been approved, if memory serves me, and one of the things they have to do is provide us information about potential use.
Usage, okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna build over time is what they're
And
saying.
they have to bring each phase back
And
to
they-
the planning
Oh, okay.
commission.
Yeah,
So once they do the church, then if, when they do the house, then they would bring back
Yeah.
another, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Cover public comments?
I have one. The senior center in the township, we are supporting a fundraiser for Dolly Parton's Imagination Library Saturday at the Romeo Masonic Temple. It's going to be an art, a craft show where we are going to donate the funds for renting the tables to Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. And if you all could support reading for children 0 to 5 years old by coming to the art sale, that would be appreciated.
And when is that?
This is Saturday, March 28th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Masonic Temple in Romeo on the corner of Main Street
Yep.
there. And they're going to have 30 vendors with their crafts.
Nice.
Thank you. Marsha Hollins, Armada Township.
Any others? Okay, well, being no further citizen comments, any council comments?
Yeah, I would just, again, some good questions out here tonight. The venue doesn't lend itself really to going into detail. All of this stuff with water, with sewer, it gets detailed, highly detailed. So I'm always happy to sit down with somebody and talk to them about their particular concern. Can't guarantee you're going to be satisfied when you walk away, but maybe you know something that I don't. So I would invite people to talk to me. Again, I see off and on stuff on Facebook. It's really hard to debate on Facebook too, and so people that are on Facebook and not at the meeting, contact the village office and ask to sit down. I am happy to do that. I've been suggesting that for 8 years, and I think I've had 1 or 2 people take me up on it. So I am happy to talk to you in detail, probably talk your ears off about the village water system and what we're trying to do, in the future, and so on. So please contact me.
And you did have,
I've done a
had
couple
2
public hearings and
public meetings at the water plant. Yeah.
I put a lot of time into it. They don't really get well attended, and one time, unfortunately, we did it at the library because this is a small place. We ran out of time, and we would have overrun this place with the number of people. So I can certainly do that again for people that are that want to know more about the water system.
You know, it's funny. We get a lot of criticism on Facebook, and people are pretty free with whatever they say. And I used to try to answer questions, and I wrote on Facebook my phone number and everything. I'll be glad to talk to you. No calls. So I've kind of come to the conclusion that people just want to vent on Facebook. They don't even want the facts. But if you really want to find something, it's like you don't go to get your medical answers on Facebook. Or at least you shouldn't. You should go to your doctor or whatever. Not that we're the same as a doctor, but if you contact us, we will try to get you your answers. Anyhow.
Wait, I got something.
Yep, go right ahead.
Back to the priority. They told us in the beginning they were gonna send things out to every customer. They didn't do that. I've called, and I did call. I had a bunch of people come to me and tell me they got their bills. I never did. So I called and go, why am I getting my bill? She goes, I don't know, it's right here. I don't know why they didn't send it. So I'm worried about the billing department. So if we're not on top of it, and they're not keeping their promises from the beginning, that's my concern. Because I have a bunch of neighbors don't have a clue what to do with their garbage. So I'm trying to explain to them. I shouldn't have to do that. It should have been more advertised in the beginning like these people were saying, because it wasn't. It should have been maybe put on Facebook. I know the township did that. A letter maybe should have went out. Priority should have been out and put something on mailbox. Or they said they were going to do that.
They said they were gonna hand deliver it.
But they also said in the beginning that they're gonna get addresses from you and send it in the mail.
Township, not me, township.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was for the township.
Yeah.
I assume they
Township
said,
has all the addresses because of the assessor.
but the priority was supposed to do that and they didn't do that either.
Yeah.
So that's my
Oh,
concern.
I would love to tell you that I'm not frustrated with them, but I am just as frustrated
Yeah.
as you are.
I'm just saying that
No.
I know a lot of people.
And if you're, and I wish that lady had left, she didn't leave me her number, because
yeah,
I
it's all
would,
that, yeah.
I mean, I will happily call on your behalf.
Yeah, I took care of mine.
Or give you,
but
we
it's-
have a representative, and I am gonna call him tomorrow, and I'm going to put it on our website, call this guy, because he's the guy that made the promises, so.
Right,
I
and
did
that's,
just-
that's my point, is
Yeah.
that promises weren't being kept and now we
Yeah.
have all these people confused and I totally get it.
Well,
The flyer, I just got my bill and the flyer was in my bill.
But you were a current customer.
I was.
And this
yeah.
is,
Well, I
this
didn't
is,
get my bill, so I had to call and pay it, because
Yeah.
you were not a current customer, you know what,
yes,
let's,
I
Yeah.
am.
can we talk about this after, maybe after the
Sure.
meeting?
Yes,
don't
I
know.
am a
Yeah.
current customer,
So-
they just forgot to push the button for me.
Yeah, I think, I will call our guy. And
Call
I'm
your
just
guy.
gonna tell him, I'm gonna put your name out on our website, we're gonna give it out, because if this is, I'm not
That's
happy.
my only concern, is
Yeah.
the promises weren't
Yeah,
kept.
no, I don't, I wish I could disagree with you, Paula, that I can't. Yeah.
Okay, do we have any events any community events coming up?
The Dolly Parton
Yes.
Imagination
I'll
Library.
give you a flyer for that
Yeah.
too. It's
Okay.
in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't put it
I know.
up, but I'll, yeah,
We can't put it out here?
no. We
A
don't.
nonprofit fundraiser?
Yeah.
Do it at the grocery store.
Okay, thank you.
Or the post office,
Yeah.
Okay,
or the gas station.
okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
okay.
Okay, do we have a,
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:02.
Support.
all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Motion.
Unfortunately, my